So I have a friend who I think coined the term losing forward. And the idea is simple. You don't succeed, perhaps. It's super painful, but you lay the groundwork for winning the next time. I want to give you a quick example again, and I'm going to mostly talk about experiences from Maine since we're here in Maine, although I work in throughout New England in a bunch of places. But in 2009, GLAD was part of an effort to pass a marriage law through the legislature here in this state. We had thought about the timing, thought 2009 was going to be the best year, and been planning on this and working on this for 5 years in advance. So our opponents out there in the world had always said to us, "You're never going to win. You're never going to win in court." Then we won in court. Then they said, "Well, you're never going to win in front of a legislature, the people's representatives, because they'll be with the people. They would never stick their necks out this way." But in the spring of 2009 in this state, with bipartisan support from the House and Senate, the governor signed a marriage law. And just a week earlier, the Vermont legislature had overridden a governor's veto of a marriage law. So we had the first two states in the nation not only winning in the courts, but winning with the representatives of the people. The victory in Maine never took effect at that time because the voters reversed the win at the ballot box in a referendum in November. The vote was 52% to repeal, 48% to retain. Now, it was hard to lose, very hard, took the pledge. But I want to say that I think the seeds of future victory were there. That campaign had, in 2009, over 8,000 volunteers. You know enough about Maine to know this is a small state, and that is a phenomenal number of people who were deeply committed to this work. And I'm talking about LGBTQ people and non. I'm talking about very young people and very old people. I am really talking about the full gamut of life in this state, and again, bipartisan. So after a few days of hearing about this, those of us who had worked on this effort gathered together again, and because we recognized how much we had gained, decided we had to go back and we had to try again. Not right away. We had to work for this. And we decided, after picking over everything that we had done, that we would aim for 2012, knowing it was going to be a large turnout election, and that we were going to have to change some hearts and minds to get to a majority and win. And to us, that meant we were going to have to go door to door in all kinds of weather across this state and talk to Mainers about marriage, to talk to them about why it mattered to them, and to listen and hear them, and to talk about why it mattered to us. That statewide canvas is actually exactly how we found the people who ended up appearing in our ads when this measure finally did reach the ballot in 2012. We discovered along the way so many shared values and concerns from people who had been on different sides of the issue. So in November 2012, as the returns came in, it was looking good and then better, and then Maine became the first state in the nation to directly approve of marriage at the ballot. And by the way, the first state ever to have done so by changing its mind on a vote it had made just 3 years earlier. And so now we had the courts, been active in legislatures, and we had people changing their minds. Oh my, what did that portend for the 40-plus other states that had some sort of ban or restriction in place? So clearly, in my view, 2009 was a necessary loss that made us better, that made us sharper, that made us engage with our population, our people, that much more deeply. And I hope that you will also have experiences converting your mistakes, your lack of successes and disappointments, into future progress as well.